Hello YouTube fans, hope you can see me, got a new night light, because as you know the light boob the other day was taking the fucking piss. So for this one you can see my beautiful face and so on. So I started, as you know, to go through an 80s marathon of horror films. Now I'm going to 1981, but as a change I went to 1980 because I want to do this one. A very unestimated, very good sequel, that being Friday the 13th Part 2. That's right, Friday the 13th Part 2. Now, I've done this one a lot of times, and I figure why not, why not? I'm going to say the things I hate and the things I love. The only thing I hate is the fact they kill Agent King's character off, Alice. Who the fuck is Alice? They kill her off. Now, at the time, they was going to make a sequel, the first opening, decided to make a sequel, but they didn't know what ideas to come up with. One of them was going to be a copycat killer of the original one. One was going to be the mother come back from the dead. I'm not making this shit up. And so on. But they decided to bring back Jason. Bear with me as I now get some light. Sometimes it goes off. So if you went a bit dark there. So where was I? Yeah, here I was. Before we went dark. So they decided to bring back Jason. You know, this is the opening where Jason's ghost of his kid jumps out. The famous jump scare scene. And so on. The difference is Paramount bought the company, right, of Friday the 13th Part 2. This is a bit I fucking hate. I hate. You start off with a kid, right, thinking Incy Wincy Spider, and he gets bollocked by his mum, you know, and all this shit. And then you get, remember, Alice having a nightmare. It's those bits from the first one, memory lane and all that. And then you thought at first you're going to have a typical psycho shower scene. She's having a shower, don't get excited, she's not fully naked. And she's had an argument with her mum. You got the idea in the original one, she's having domestics with family and all that. So that's fair enough. Then she goes to get something to eat, and she's near the kitchen, and she sees Jason's mum's head. And then if that doesn't fucking piss me off, she gets an ice pick in the fucking head. All the shit that Alice went through in the original just for the beginning to get a fucking shitty ice pick in the fucking head feels like someone sucked a dick on my fucking head. It really does piss me. It fucking pisses me. And I remember saying it a lot of times. If there's any way I could cut the fucking opening and just show the start up with Friday the 13th Part 2 logo, I fucking would do. Because it never made sense. It never made sense of why did they do that? Why? She didn't want to be in it, just don't have her in it. Then kill the character after all the shit she went through in number fucking 1. But it is what it is. I'm not going to whinge, I'm not going to cry a river. It is what it is. But I will give it its due. I will give it its due. You can get Amy and Steele as the new final deal. So you get the a new Chaucer, or you got ideas in a new area, not far from where Tistle Lake was. And you got Daisy Ralph, who was in the original one. I could put up with him in number 1, but I just found him fucking annoying and fucking irritating as shit in this. Come up with the same lines that he said in number 1. You're doomed. You're doomed. Yeah, you're going to get fucking doomed. You don't shut the fuck up. But happy to say, he just get killed. A bit of gruesome death. Barbed wire on the neck. Now, this is my issue with this. This is my issue from 1981. This is still today cut. The original Friday the 13th, totally uncut. Not like it's all excited about. Okay, you get a bow arrow in David Beakin's neck, right? You get a bow arrow, about it going dark again. You get a bow arrow in David Beakin's fucking neck. Ippity fucking do that. Ippity fucking do that. That's the only bit what was cut down originally. But this has never seen the day of light in some of the cut scenes. It was a lot more graphic and it was a lot more violent, right? So to cut the story short, right? To cut the story short, you got the idea these are new teens, and you get one who's on a wheelchair, he's paralysed, but he doesn't want to admit he's paralysed. You sort of feel sorry for this character because he's about to get his end away, right? And you think he's going to get a spear in the head or something whacked on his head, but you don't. He gets kicked over by the wheelchair and falls to his doom. You do get one copper who gets a hammer on the head, which I do believe is going to be a lot more graphic. But I always think, is that a love letter to Halloween 2? And there's a bit where they're doing a Tamp story. And it always has me wondering, right? Because this come out the same year when The Burning come out. Same year when The Burning come out. And there was a Tamp story in that. And both of them really interest me when you think about it. Friday the 13th Part 2. Both of them really sustained me and interest me. Right? But saying that, I do like them both. There's typical scene where Di jumps out, frightens everybody, and I always wonder which copied first. Did The Burning copy that, or did Friday the 13th Part 2 copy that? Which is one of the reasons why Don Safini didn't prize his role doing the makeup and the special effects like he did in the first one, because at the time he was doing 2 films, which I reviewed one, that being The Prowler, and the same there, did the effects for John Stepser, the same man. He did the burnt makeup as well as some of the gruesome effects. Don Safini did the effects for The Burning, right? But it's a good one. I like this. I mean, there's a few good deaths in it. There's a couple making out, and I swear they must have copied this from A Bay of Blood, which, funny enough, there was a similar death scene like this in The Prowler, where a lad turns to the door, you got the idea they're doing it, and they get a spear in the back. Now, I do believe originally that was going to be a lot more graphic, and there's still photos where the spear's in the guy's back and the girl's streaming. See that in its uncut form? Best of fucking luck. Best of fucking luck. Because I'd love to see it in its uncut form. I felt in its uncut form, it'd have a bit more of an impact, a bit more of a punch. But saying that, I still like the film. So you got Amy and Steele, and there's a bit in here where they do copy bits from The Prowler, and a bit where she's under the bed, she sees a rat, just like in The Prowler, and I remember mentioning that. And there's a bit where she pees herself out of fear, which I don't think we didn't do that in The Prowler, really. But I still like it. I like it. Well, you do get to see Jason. It's not the Jason you expect to see in the other ones, you know, the hockey mask. In this, he has a bag on his head. And it never really bothered me, the bag on his head. Yeah, it does look a bit like a two-truck fucking tram. But if you ever remember the true story, there's a true story called The Deadly Duntown Killer. It's based on a true story where his psychopath had a bag on his head and he was killing people willy-nilly. It kind of reminds me of that. Have you never seen the Day of the Suntown, it's called? Check it out. Come out in 1977. Damn good horror film. Maybe one down the road I might talk about that. Very good horror film. Based on a true story. But I do like this. I do like it. The only bit what pisses me off, just like the bit at the beginning is, I'll spoil it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've never seen Friday the 13th Part 2? Check it out. It come out in 81. It's a good one. It's the ending. You've been warned. So Jason's attacking him, right? He's got the bag on his head. The boyfriend comes out. Adrian King gets the better. I'm to meet teeth on the fucker's neck. You got the idea he's bound bed. You get a typical jump scare. He jumps out, and so on. But you never do what happens to Paul. You got the idea Paul's a boyfriend, right? And you never ever get to see what happens to Paul. Was it a nightmare? Did he imagine it? Did he attack? But it never made sense when you see number 3 and all. Which I'll get to when I get to the 82 horror marathon, right? It never made fucking sense to me. Never made fucking sense. That's my only 2 issues. Did they have to kill fucking Adrian King's character off, being Alice? And what the fuck happened to Paul? Is he dead? Is he alive? Was it a nightmare? Ultimate mindfuck. But other than that, though, I still think Friday the 13th Part 2 is a dud one. I do think it's quite good. It has its own identity. Yeah, Jason coming back from the dead was a bit OTT, but you could definitely see when they got to the next one, when he had the hockey mask and so on, where they made a franchise more out of Jason's character. But I like Friday the 13th Part 2. I like it that much. What the fuck? The only issue is I've missed into the bit where Adrian King's character got killed. But I do like Remington Steele. I think she's pretty. I do remember it being in April Fool's Day, one of my favourite films, which I'm not even going to class as a slasher. I say more of a murder mystery, with a date twist ending. And I like Adrian Steele in this, in Friday the 13th Part 2. But I like it. It made a lot of sequels, and you can see why. I like the fact that you keep the music, that shh, 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 ha, 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 I do like that. And so on. There are bits where you can see similarities from most of the slasher films, whether it be The Prowler, whether it be The Burning, whether it be Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th, whether it be Halloween 2, I meant to say, and so on. But you don't see that 81 was a good day for slasher films, this being one of them. Into them, I'm down with the horror marathon. Into them, be smart, be safe. See you later.